Ha ha! Hey there, folks. Jeff Jackson here on Forage Fanatic Radio. Today we're going to talk about reseeding alfalfa. So I've had many questions of people asking, hey, we've got this old alfalfa stand, we'd like to tear it out and we'd like to replant right into it with some new alfalfa seed. Well, here's the message, folks. These plants, called alfalfa, Medicago sativa, actually produce a toxin that goes back into the ground from that plant, mostly from the upper material, from the stems, shoots, not the roots. So it's material that decomposes, goes back into the ground. We call that an autotoxicity. It's a compound called a metacarpin found in those plants. So when we have that plant losing leaves, losing plant parts, above ground parts decaying, it deposits an allelopathic effect into the soil that will inhibit other alfalfa plants from growing, germinating, and being effective, live, healthy plants. Time and time again, the question will be posed on the internet, in person, wherever I might be, that says, hey, somebody said they reseeded their alfalfa right into an old stand and it works fine. Consider this. A live, healthy plant will have a ring about 16 inches where you will have very, very little success of producing a live, fully effective plant. They will survive, but they'll be lower yielding. If you get inside of 6 inches, you'll have very low survivability rates. Outside of about 24 inches from each plant, you should have no effect on yield. So consider that. If you have an alfalfa plant that is considerably more than 24 inches from the next live alfalfa plant, you might have some success. Other than that, you might get some seedings that germinate, but they will not produce a live, vigorous, healthy plant that gives you your full yield potential. So consider that if you are seeding a new field this year and you are going to try to fix or patch in some spots within the first 12 months, you'll have some pretty good success. Any longer than that, and the metacarpins will start to build, and you'll have some plant issues. They might produce live plants, but those roots will probably be messed up, and you will not have good overwintering ability and or great production ability. So our recommendations have always been to go at least one cropping season between alfalfa rotations. And on heavier soils with more clay, more live plants per square foot when it's terminated, more dry conditions, we like to expand that out and go 2 full cropping seasons between alfalfa so that we do not have an allelopathic effect that will reduce our stand's yield potential. I don't know very many people out there that if I said, yep, go ahead and plant your corn, it will only yield 70% of its potential, but go ahead and do it. And not many people are going to. But if I tell you that, your alfalfa stand is only going to have 60 to 70% of its yield potential, it's crazy how many people will say, yeah, it's not going to be that big a deal. As long as the plants come up, we'll be fine. That's not the case. So take your chances. I think there's a neat saying out there, and I'm not going to use the same expletive, but it goes like this. Screw around and find out. Right? Well, you might just get what you're asking for. So 2 cropping seasons. If you have very coarse soil, lots of rain or irrigation, and very few plants per square foot, or 1 per every 2 square feet, as the notes would say, you might be able to go with 1 cropping season. There's also some data out there that suggests if you absolutely have to make that rotation and you have coarse soil, irrigation, lots of heat, tillage, all these things for you, you need to have a minimum 3 to 4 weeks between when that old stand went out and when a new one tries to get seeded. But from the safety zone, we'd love to have 1 full cropping season and potentially 2 full cropping seasons in between alfalfa on rotations, because we can't afford to have a 70% productive alfalfa field out there. But routinely, we will have stories about people reseeding into old stands and or quickly after termination, and it's just not a common, good, solid agronomic practice. So It's up to you. Do what you want to do. But that's Jeff Jackson today, your Forage Fanatic, coming to you from the Forage Fanatic Radio here in Plattsburgh, Missouri. Hope you're all having a great day. If you have more questions, call us, get a hold of us. Catch you later. Thank you.